Well, of course. When I plan to make a video, they bring out the big guns. Again. Oh well. Hello, Potttery friends. The big guns have gone that way. I hope they're staying there for a while I show you how I make a cute little bird feeder like this one. This is thrown on the wheel. As you can see on the inside, you can still see the throwing lines. Carved, cut out, and glazed in 3 good coats of peacock. Fired to cone 5.5-ish, 6-ish. Talk about firing in a second. I'm immediately distracted because of the problems with our utility company. I cannot fire at all at the moment. I won't bother you with that. Let's just, in the meantime, what life and the utility company is throwing at me, let's just make this, okay? I'll set you up at the wheel over there. I'll see you there in a sec. Here we are at the wheel. What I like to do first is put one of these on. This is a faux chamois, and I buy these at our local Chinese supermarket in the car section, so to speak, next to the motor oil. This is a synthetic one, and they are sold there for cleaning and polishing your car. I wet it, I put it on my wheel, which helps with, I'm bending down for that, which helps when the holes in your bat have, worn out a little bit. These haven't really, but I just make it, what's that called, a routine to put the faux chamois under there. Maybe I need my pedal. It makes it stop from wobbling if the holes are a little bit worn out. Works like a charm. So, well, you're really in with me from the beginning. Cleaning my wheel. This is nice and not wobbly. I need a towel. Oh my. Not prepared at all, except for my ball of clay. That is at the ready. That little bird feeder you just saw was made from 1 kilogram. I want one just a tad bit bigger, so this is 1,200 grams. Just a little bit wet. And let's go. This is reclaim from my Laguna 66 and 65, so it has a little bit of sand, and it's pretty soft, so we'll see how this goes. Pushing it down, getting it to stick, pulling up. You have seen this probably 1,000 times. I won't get into this too much, this centering, but it's needed. If you don't, then your pots will be wonky and so forth and so on. Pushing forward and down. This is very soft, so it's a little bit easier to center. Oh! Maybe not so handy, this new dress with big sleeves. I'll go up one more time. For a bird feeder like this, I'm going to throw a closed form. If it is not 100% perfectly on center, I can work with it. I just eyeball the width, but I know you are curious, so let's see It might get smaller, but I will, oh, the other way around. Let's see how big this is. Let's get my ruler. Go. This is a little over 5.5 inches, which is a little over 14 centimeters. But you know, the birds don't care as long as they can reach the food or the water, as long as it's big enough. You can make these any shape or size you want. I'm going to find the center, push down a little bit more water. These will not get trimmed, so I want the bottom not to be too thick, but also not too thin. I mean, it's going to be outside, a little bit sturdy is okay. Let's see. Oh, that's still way too thick. Like I said, I have not been at the wheel much. I lost my mojo also because of that whole power problem, and we've been measuring and measuring and measuring. Still a bit thick. And turns out that instead of 220 volts for my kiln, I only get an average of 208. And that's why my kiln is having trouble getting up to temperature. The last, what, 200-300 degrees goes at a rate of 30 degrees, it's all centigrade, per hour, which is so very slow, which in and of itself for the pieces is not a problem. It's just, you know, takes very long, costs me a lot of money, and it's difficult to figure out the heat work, because if you fire slow, your final temperature needs to be lower because of the heat work. So that's been a bit of a thing. I'm going to measure my bottom again. And the second problem, which came up a couple of weeks ago, of course in pre-Christmas season, is that it wreaks havoc on the elements if it has to work that hard. So I have lost about 30 to 40 firings. I cannot fire, it won't reach temperature anymore. I have ordered new elements. I have been talking to Jay from Euclid's Ceramics, which is affiliated with Potttery Supply House, and he is now making me elements for 208 volts, and I am hoping that that will solve the problem. So yeah, fingers crossed, people. I'm waiting for them to come, and then I can fire again and have to get to know my kiln from scratch again. So we'll see what happens. Okay, I have opened it up, compressed the bottom, and now I'm going to lift the walls. I'm going to pinch and push inward with my right hand. I'm going to go a little bit slower. Pinch and up and in. Finger on top, compress the rim. That's the first pull. It's a bit too wide, I think. So I'm going to push in on the side Make it a bit narrower and push up and in, up and in, up and in. Now I'm going to color this in at the top, so I'm leaving this part here a little bit thicker. Slow down my wheel. Yeah, she can go a bit smaller. There we go. There's a thingy in there. Oh, you see that? It's probably a little bit of clay that's not been totally saturated with water. Usually isn't a problem. I will see if I can find it. Or is it an air bubble? Hold on. No, it's just a little dry clay. It's fine. Still a bit thick, so one more pull, I think. Oh my gosh, that big thing's going to pass us again. If it gets too loud, I'll turn down the noise. I'm now pushing outward only, getting that ridge and lifting it up. Oops! Lifting it up. And here I am, no more pressure whatsoever. Keep it a little bit thick for the coloring in later. Oh, listen to that noise. I'll be right back, people. Okay, they are a little bit further down the road, so I'm hoping it doesn't bother us in the video. We'll see. Taking out some water. One more pull, I think, and a little bit of shaping. Yeah, it's still a bit thick there. I'm now shaping it more straight, not so much inward, and from here I will go inward to prepare for the coloring in, right? I like to take away this little skirt. If I cannot push it in, I'll take it away, or if I don't want to push it in. I have a mirror over there, and that's where I look. That's where I focus if I'm working on the shape. A little bit of a belly, not too much. Yeah, I think we're close. A little bit of mopping. This is because it's reclaim. It saturates quick, so I have to be careful not to make it too wet. Metal rip. And inward we go. Checking thickness. Yeah, I think it's good. Could be a little bit thinner, but it's fine. Although there's a lot of clay here. Yeah, I think it's good. One more time drying off or mopping up the inside. Shaping this a little bit because I do not want to trim these. So I try to do as much as I can on the wheel. Yeah, looks good. Now I'm going to color this in. I'm wetting it. And with this soft clay I go slowly. I am aiming for a little bit of a teardrop shape. Probably not going to work if I look at this, but you know, they're all different, they're all individuals. There we go. I'm now going to do it like this, with 6 points of contact. This wobbly bit often happens, and I have watched many videos made by Simon Leach, and he explains it that all these platelets first are being pulled out and then pushed back together again. Makes sense to me. I'm not a scientist, but it happens and it's fine. I will cut that off later. Just go slowly, a little bit at a time. If you have enough clay here, which I don't, you can also immediately make a knob for it to hang on. You can put a knob on later. On the one that you saw in the beginning of the video, I just made a hole and put a rope through. And then that last bit sometimes is difficult, until I came across a video by Robert Briggs, Corvus Moon, on YouTube. I'm going to cut this irregularity off because it bugs me. Thick enough, you see, I have room enough. He makes the most beautiful cremation urns. He does mostly raku. And when he makes a knob, and when he gets to this last part, he does something different, and I've tried it and it works. He takes his knuckle and very slowly pushes inward. And it's almost closed. So it's no tear shape this time. It's a bit more rounded, but that's fine. I think I need a little bit more clay for tiered shape, or I have to go less wide in the beginning. Now I can press a little harder because of the air being trapped in there. Okay. Let's clean this up a bit. I am going to carve this one. So on the outside I do not want these throwing rings. I will take my metal rib. I will bend it a little bit. And there it is. Let's make a bevel. Not only do I like the look of a bevel on the bottom, it is also very helpful with glazing. There we go. And now we wait, because this has to stiffen up. I will put it away in the sun for a few minutes until it's a little dry. Then I will make a little hole, because while drying this wet clay in the sun, the shrinking goes so fast, it will tear. So yeah. Oh, by the way, oh, here he comes again. That machine. Oh, it's going back empty, so I think we're good. We're good. If and when you do not have enough clay to close it up, it has happened. Don't worry, there's a solution, and I will show you. Let's take this one off, and yeah, I'll see you in a sec. Well, I moved you around again. The one you just saw me throw is right over there somewhere in the sun on the table, but I threw one before, earlier today, and I'm sorry, I had a little less clay and I made it quite bulbous, and I didn't have enough to color in. You can see this is, you know, a centimeter. What is it, 3/8 or 1/4 of an inch? So I don't want it to go any thinner. So let's fix that. It is still stuck on the wheel, on the bat. This is still soft. This, because it was in the sun, has dried enough. It's stiff enough for me to work with. I have a slab, small one, and I measured. Let me take off the dry clay. Excuse me. I measured with my, I'm sorry. I measured and I took a cookie cutter a little bit bigger, and I'm going to cut out that circle. There we go. Yeah. There it is. And then I'm going to put it on my mold. This is just a bisque fired ball sphere, which I use often. I'm going to put it on there. Is this enough, or do I need another one? Oh, this is enough, because I want it a little bit, I'm now thinking it's not enough, because I think it's nice for this to be on top here a little bit domed. Let's see. But is this more domed? Yeah, I'm putting it in. I'm not sure. What if I change the plans? Well, not really, but I have a tiny mold. This is a plaster one, a store-bought one. And because it's smaller, oh, gosh, what am I doing? I think I will like this better. But now I'm not sure if it's still big enough. See, I've pressed it in there. Let's see. It is more rounded. I like that. Is it still big enough? Yeah, it fits. Okay. A little dust came with it. Okay. I'm pushing it in here. Carefully. And I'm going to have to wait until this stiffens up a bit. We all know the patience game in clay, don't we? I will put it next to the other one and wait for a few minutes. And why don't you, in the meantime, stay tuned for a little footage of this one with the birdies. Oof. So we're back. This is the one that, huh? You just saw that. This has stiffened up enough that it holds his shape, so I'm going to put it up there. As this one is still, hello, as this one is still stuck on the wheel, I'm just going to put it back, stuck on the that. So I'm going to put it back on the wheel and then attach that. So yeah, join me. Now I do have to get it the right way around. We'll see what happens. Oh. Wrong button, people. Wrong button. Could be, should be the other way around. Yeah, that's better. Let's grab some scoring things too. Gosh, I really can't talk today. I have prepared some slip, in the sense that because I haven't been in the studio for a while, this was all a bit dry. I had to bring it back to life, so to speak. Not too much in there. There we go. Now this one, the edges are, because I've rounded it, the edges are now at an angle. I'm going to make them flatter by scoring, and I want to score it anyway, so just to create a little bit more surface for it to attach properly. See, it's a little flatter now, and of course some slip. Let's get the crumbs out. I don't know if you can hear in the background. Oh, there's one starting up here right now. They're still working, and it's past 12. And here on Bonaire, it's still, it's very common that people have a siesta. You know, in this climate, you want to get out of the heat at the hottest part of the day. So I was hoping they would go on their lunch break, but they haven't yet. And I really had to do this because I didn't want it to dry out too fast. So apologies for the noise if you can hear it. Okay, pushing it down. Ooh, not too forceful, honey. Taking off the excess slip. Let's grab my tool, just a wooden tool. I didn't put it in the middle. I really want these to connect. And later I can fix the inside. You will see that. we go. I think that looks kind of cute. I do have some little cracks from putting it in the mold a little bit forcefully. I'm going to burnish this a little bit. The surface cracks out. Yeah, I think this is good for now. This part is a bit stiffer. This is still wet or soft, but it is now, of course, all closed, so I can easily now take it off the wheel and put it on a board. So I will do that. Is this big enough? Yeah. There we go. That's the board. Et voila. So far, so good. I have it on my bending wheel now. It's very uneven. I want to put it away for even drying. And to help the drying, I'm going to make the first cuts, because I'm going to have to cut out the openings for the birdies to get to. And so I am going to have to decide whether I want one opening, 2 or 3. I think I'll make 2, just like the other one. I have transferred a circle with the degrees and some dividing lines for 3s and 6 and 8. So I'm going to use that to get my openings really nicely spaced. Let's put you in the middle. There we go. There's one go. Oh, did I already put a hole in here? No, I didn't. I'm going to make 2 openings, so there's one going here. I'm just going to cut out a bit smaller than, of course, what it will be. Just, you know, to enhance the even drying across from that one. There we go. So I will put this, I will put this baby in my drying room, you know, my old fridge, Jimmy, for some even drying. Then I will cut out the holes like I want them and do some more fiddling with it probably, and then maybe some carving. So yeah, I'll see you in a bit. In the meantime, let's get back to this one. I just threw, it was out in the sun again, still on the bat. I did not wire it off yet. Fairly soft here, but here it's now a little stiffer, and I want to give this one a knob. And while this has still air in it and it's closed, I want to use that because you can put a little more pressure, and this is just stiff enough so I can make a knob. And I'm going to make my favorite one, which is very easy. I have a little slab, compressed, nice and clean, a small cookie cutter, I wonder if it's too small, we'll see. I will flatten the edges a little bit on both sides. And then I'm going to coax it that way into just trying to prevent this from cracking too much, so easy going. Whoops. Still a little bit of cracking going on. A little bit more cracking going on. And I'm also going to coax this that way a little bit. Hopefully. Oh my, what a cracking. You naughty knob. Okay, that's my serrated rib. There it is. A little bit of scoring and slipping. Oh, I'm sorry. Get this attached real well. And then I will take a little bit of clay. Put it in there. Fold it in that corner and then cut it off. And then with a skewer, I will push it in that seam. Can you see I'm rolling? Oh, the other way, please. I'm rolling my, oh, can you see what I'm doing? You can't see what I'm doing. Can I do it this way? I am rolling my skewer from side to side. Go. Now I need a piece of paper. A bit small, but it's fine. I'm going to cut this one off. Right there. this should be the middle. Maybe not. Now I have already, oops, uh-oh. Okay. I have already put a hole in there to prevent it from shrinking so fast because it's hot here. So it will tear. So I need to, this then of course will be the place where I cut out the bigger hole. So I have to make sure I put my knob the way I want it compared to where I have my bigger holes. Like, of course you're gonna fall again. We're still good, I think. So this will be at least one of the openings. So I need you to go like that. Is it in the middle? No. This is the right spot. Now I know where to scratch. And slip. Oh. Looks good. Sissy was going after a lizard or a gecko, or she usually is way too slow or they are too fast. Now I take a little bit thicker dowel, stick it in there, then press. A little fiddling. Nope, I'm taking a brush now. Ta-da. A little water, not too much water. And the rest of the cleaning up, if there needs to be any, will be done after the carving, I think. We'll see how it goes. I like that. Now, again, same as with the other one, I'm going to make some bigger holes in there to have it dry more evenly inside and out. I'm going to put you on my handy dandy circle tool, or I don't know what you call that. I am right here. Where's my knife? That's one. Across, that's here. Make 2 openings again. I sometimes do 3. There we go. So this one is also off to the Jimmy for some even drying, and I'll get back to you with the rest of this. See you soon. We're back. Let's continue. In the meantime, I have opened these up a little bit more so they could dry a little bit more even. Did not really work today. This is pretty leather hard, and down here it's a bit softer, but I have to cut the openings now or else it will probably crack. I don't know. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to lower down the camera so you can see what I'm doing. There we go. I am using my handy dandy circly thingy. Where's my glasses? On my head, of course. Putting it in the middle as good as I can. And I now see that this one is a bit off, but that's fine. I usually draw the opening first. Now if you look, can you tell that you can see the lines, right? I have the middle down here. This is the line, so I will go 1, 2, 3 to the left. So it will go to approximately here. 1, 2, 3 to the right. And it will go approximately there. How deep do I want it? A little less than that. Probably there. I'm going to try and hold this steady, and then this doesn't always work, but to begin with, right, I am going to make this a little bit curved in, I think, and on the top to right about there. Now I'm going to hold my stick and put it here too. Is it? Yeah, approximately the same. And down there too. This is the middle. My hole is not in the middle at the moment, but this is the middle. 1, 2, 3 right there. 1, 2, 3 right there. Draw it in a bit, and I start smaller. I can always go bigger. Okay. A sharp knife, and I will put it, let's take this away. At the end, so I can easily reach in. And I'm going to try to keep my knife straight. Cut this out. Oh, it's a little softer than I thought it was. That's good. Ta-da! By the way, do you hear that? Nothing. Just roosters. They have gone. Gosh. They were really loud with all that machinery. Okay. On the other side as well. There we go. What do we think? Is this big enough? I think so. Yeah. Then what I will do is, because I have this straight cut here, I will do this. I think it reinforces that corner. Can you see what I'm doing? I'll try to do it right-handed. Like that. The same on this side. Pushing in a bit of clay. I don't know if it really does it, makes the corner stronger. It just feels like it. Not scientifically proven. Okay. Then I will grab me some water. And I'm going to smooth the edges and wet it a little bit. Not too much. But especially here, because, oh, let me see if I can do that with my right hand. I want to push this out a little bit. Give it sort of kind of a lip. Sometimes in other designs, I won't do that. Can you see it's turned out a bit? If I leave it straight, I might make a hole here to put a stick in for the birdies to land on. And now they have a tiny little perch. Again, pushing it out a little bit. Tidying up comes later. I will smooth these edges too. I sometimes also lift this part up. I don't know if I will do that yet. Shall I lift this up a bit? Well, you know, why not? It's not much. I don't have a lot of clay to work with anymore. See that? Just a tiny bit. Okay, the other side. Let me see. There we go. And now it's time for the carving. I'll give you a close-up of this one, if we can. Let's see. Yeah, look. I love this carving. And it looks, you know, from a distance, it looks pretty even. It's not. It's the repetition, and because it's an all-over pattern that fools our eyes. And this was done with, let me show you. something like this. I don't know which one. Can I check? Probably that one. This one is a bit bigger. I'm going for the bigger one on this. And it's actually very, very simple. So let's do that. I am going to start on the bottom. Let's get the crumbs out. And therefore I need this. Handy dandy, 2 styrofoam spheres. Not like that. Nope, that doesn't work. This works. To divide the weight when I flip it over, because I can't put it on its knob, right? That sounds dubious. Okay. Is this strong enough? We'll see. I can also now clean up my bottom. Let's put it straight. Okay. One more thing. First things first. I hope you can see. Yeah. You see this right there? This is twisting because it was all closed in all the way. Make sure, have to be a bit careful. Sorry. You reinforce that either by twisting it or swirling in the opposite direction, but there's not enough clay. So I will grab a tiny piece of clay. Come on, come on. Just a tiny ball. Just pretend I'm getting slipped now, yeah? I will put that in there. Can you see? Yeah, you can see. See? I've had it happen that at that, where that swirl comes together, that it cracked. It wanted to unwind, so to speak, in the firing. So after I've been doing this, it never happened again. So I am guesstimating I'm doing something right. Don't take my word for it. It seems to work. So yeah. Get in there. Good. I can also now, if I want to, clean up my bevel if I have to. It's not really needed, but okay. Ah! Told you I'm too early with this. Look, it messed up my. Impatient. Okay, I'm going to have to wait because this has set up a little bit more. It's softer than I thought it was, so be right back again. Okay, folks, that stiffened up a little bit, maybe not enough, so I'm going to do something different. I thought you were done for today. Gosh, they're coming back. Instead of using this one, I have my old bat with foam. I sometimes use this if I want to trim something with an uneven rim, and I am just going to lay it down, something like this. This is actually still a bit soft. But like I said, I'm impatient. Now I'm going to have to figure out how to show you what I do. Let's see. I have my loop tool. And when I start carving like these kinds of textures, I start on the bottom, because let me show you. If I were to start on the top and go like that, the bottom one would look like that, right? Which would make the glaze flow down. If I start the other way around, like this, I get a nice divot here, which helps to stop the glaze from going too far down. I don't know if you can really see the difference, but there is. And actually, that's all there is to it, to create a texture like this. It's very meditative, or you could say repetitive and boring. Not for me, I love this. I will just go around like this. And you can see. And don't worry about the them not being the same. You can see there's a difference between, well, especially here. In the end, you won't see that, because the repetition helps to create one solid texture for the eye, anyway. The bottom is still soft, so that's why it sticks to my loop tool. But I want to finish it. Then for the next row, I will go in between two, sort of, kind of, because, how is this one? Not, I think in this one will be fine, but if you do this on a shape that gets wider, it gets difficult to keep the staggered thing going on, because you have more circumference to fill. So you have to play with that a little bit. And that's it, folks. See, I have a little bit more room here for some reason. I don't worry about that. Of course, you cannot throw your piece paper thin if you want to do this, but I think you all know that. That's the start. Do I go for one more row here? What did I do here? I didn't, you see? Maybe here, there. That's enough. This one has a little bit more room. Is it higher than the other one? Let's check. Well, maybe a little bit. That's all there is to it. That's how I do that, and I will continue, and I'll come back to you to show the finished one. And they're done. There we go. There it is, all carved. And actually, that was pretty fast. This is a lot faster than Sgraffito. Now I do not know if I will fire it with the beautiful peacock glaze. I might choose another one, but of course I will hopefully choose a glaze that pulls nicely or that does nice things in texture. Unfortunately, the Amico beautiful celadons don't fit this clay body. They all craze, so I don't know yet. I can't fire anyway, so yeah. The other one I have done off camera for you guys, or it's right here. And instead of carving, I stamped this one. There, this one is also with the little outward going edges, you know, not too much, just a little bit. And I will show you the stamps. These are the stamps, homemade of course. These are made with slip trailing, and this has another one on that side. And I will link to that video because I have a video on how I make these kinds of stamps. I will link a video near the end of this one. This one just got a little hole and not a knob, which also means you do not have to put extra clay in there for the twisting thing. And of course, once this was opened up, I cleaned up these edges. Oh, how can I show you? On the inside, because this was later, you know, attached. So that's cleaned up and then stamped all around. And well, I don't know, we'll see what kind of glaze thing I am going to come up with. I have time to think about it. So there you have it. 2 bird feeders. This looks a lot lighter than that one, color-wise, but it's not that much drier. Must be the light. So yeah, there they are. I hope you liked it. I hope it inspires you. Make some bird feeders or maybe just playing with texture. And in the meantime, no more news. We'll just, you know, keep on going on. And as soon as I have fired the kiln, of course I will be back. Or maybe with another make video. Get creative. It's good for your soul. And be kind to yourself and to others. And I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.